So Dennis Seaver, BJ Penn, that fight's not happening. We've got BJ Penn versus Cole Miller. I think most people's, I don't know what most people's reaction was to this, but I think that most people's reaction, me speculating, would be that Cole Miller is an easier opponent than Dennis Seaver. I disagree. I mean, I had Dennis Seaver beating BJ Penn, just because I think BJ Penn is just done. Okay, I mean, guys shouldn't even be fighting in the UFC. I don't want this to be a BJ Penn hate video, because it's really not. I mean, I just haven't been impressed with the guy. I mean, he has not won a fight in, I don't know, over 5 years. And he's just looked horrible. He's looked horrible. You know, his name, BJ Penn, but that don't do it for me. That don't do it for me. And then take somebody like Cole Miller. You know, guys, in this sport, sometimes I'm fans of fighters that aren't necessarily the best fighter. I'm not saying I'm a big Cole Miller fan or anything like that, but I'm very familiar with Cole Miller. And let me tell you what, this is a horrible matchup for BJ Penn. Now, that being said, I think pretty much any UFC fighter is a terrible matchup for BJ Penn. I don't think BJ Penn should even be fighting in the UFC. Based on his performance, and where he's at, his fighting level, I mean, there's guys that are in other organizations that are way better fighters than BJ Penn currently right now. I mean, if BJ Penn went to Bellator and fought guys there, he would probably just get destroyed. And I'm just keeping it real. They're just using his name. Now, does that mean he can't beat Cole Miller? No. But in my personal opinion, it's highly unlikely that he's going to beat Cole Miller. I thought it was highly unlikely that he was going to beat Dennis Seaver. And Cole Miller's an even worse matchup for BJ Penn. First of all, Cole Miller's 32 years old, so he's still relatively young. And, you know, Cole Miller's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's never been submitted. He's tall and lanky. You know, BJ Penn is not tall and lanky. And, you know, like I would say, I think BJ Penn's advantage in any fight these days is his submission skills. Well, you've got Cole Miller. Cole Miller's known for submitting guys. Is he going to submit BJ Penn? Probably not. I mean, I do admit that BJ Penn has a good ground game. And I don't think Cole Miller is going to submit him. But Cole Miller's never been submitted. And he's got long reach. So, I mean, he should be able to keep BJ Penn off him. And if BJ Penn does get on him, he's got great submission defense. So, I got Cole Miller win this fight by decision. You know, BJ Penn is pretty tough. He doesn't get knocked out real easily. But, guys, I think this is going to be kind of an ugly fight. Another just beat down on BJ Penn. And it's going to be by Cole Miller, who, I don't know, man. People act like Cole Miller is nothing. But, like, you know, looking how the Conor McGregor thing played out, especially looking at the Nate Diaz fight. Now, granted, Cole Miller doesn't have striking like Nate Diaz, but just the tall, lanky guy, you know, with submission skills. You know what? I mean, Cole Miller, like, because Cole Miller was supposed to fight Conor McGregor, like, when Conor McGregor was first coming into the UFC. And the funny thing is, Cole Miller maybe would have beat him. Guys, I got Cole Miller beating BJ Penn. I think he's going to beat him by decision. I think that's going to be kind of an ugly fight for BJ Penn. I don't think he's going to look good. He could submit. I don't think he's going to submit Cole Miller. That's the thing. I'd say he could come in and submit Cole Miller, but Cole Miller's never been submitted. And you're fighting a guy who's, I'm not going to say washed up. I'm going to be respectful to BJ Penn, but the guy hasn't won a fight in. He fought Nick Diaz in 2010. What year is it now? 2016? And he lost that fight. I don't even know what fight he had before that. He hasn't won a fight in over 6 years. Conservatively, maybe 7. Okay, BJ Penn. And he, you know, the guys he fought, though, Nick Diaz, and he's fought like, Roy McDonald. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what BJ Penn was thinking, what his management was thinking. We're thinking big fights, but man, it just like, so how is BJ Penn gonna match up against a guy like Cole Miller? The thing is, Cole Miller, he doesn't have a record like 15-15 or 16 or 16 wins and 14 losses. He's got a pretty good record. I think I saw 21-9. And Cole Miller's a skilled guy. He's tall, lanky. I mean, I don't know. I think Cole Miller is pretty skilled. He's just maybe he's just not like Dennis Seaver. Not everybody is going to have only 2 losses on their record. Not everybody is that gifted, that physically gifted. They're going to have losses, but that doesn't mean they're not good fighters. And BJ Penn, on the other hand, I think BJ Penn is one of those guys who he's just naturally gifted to be a fighter. But we're also talking about 10 years ago when BJ Penn was good. I mean, a lot has changed since then. And now you're going up against a younger opponent, Cole Miller being younger than Dennis Seaver, and I just don't think I just don't think he's gonna win. Put your money on Cole Miller, especially if are they gonna have BJ Penn as the favorite? I don't follow betting that much anymore. I used to look at it more, but are they going to have BJ Penn as the favorite in this fight? I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I got Cole Miller winning this fight by decision. And I think it's going to be like pretty ugly fight. I mean, it could be maybe close. But with BJ Penn's gas tank and everything, I'm thinking like, could BJ Penn win this by decision? I mean, I don't think so. Cole Miller by decision. I think it's going to be a pretty ugly beatdown on BJ Penn. I'll see you guys later.